I'm here in front of the Blackpool Tower and I'm standing on the iconic comedy carpet. But there really is nothing funny about fuel poverty. There really is nothing funny whatsoever about having to choose between heating or eating. We've all been hearing middle-class commentators talking about heat or eat, but this is actually real, and I'm going to be talking to real people who have real experience of having to make that choice. And with net zero policies, the policy of seemingly every single political party, this is only going to get worse. So I'm here with Sean Ryan from Fylde Coast Radio, who also works with Mark Butcher at the Amazing Grace community kitchen that works so much with all the people in the community and the homeless people and everything else. But not just homeless people, people who are down on their luck and need extra support. Tell me about the amazing work that you do.
First, I just want to say about your hat. How good is that? We love it.
Thank you.
Well, about Amazing Grace, well, what isn't there to say about Amazing Grace? But the word is itself amazing.
Yeah.
For what they've done for this town, for what they've done for the people of the town, and continue to do for the people of the town is amazing.
Yeah. So what exactly do you do with them?
Right, well, Mark and Abby Butcher started off Amazing Grace about 10 years ago, and it was basically a soup kitchen for the homeless.
Okay.
Since then, that's progressed. It's become something a lot bigger. It's snowballed into this massive thing. This massive thing is the homeless people in Blackpool.
Okay.
People who can't eat, people who have trouble deciding between eating and heating.
Well, that's what we're here to talk about.
You'll find it in Blackpool.
Okay.
You'll find it in Blackpool, and you'll find it on a large scale in Blackpool, which is become unnoticed.
Yeah.
You know, there's a cloud over Blackpool today, as you can see. The towers are light, but that cloud's always here. You know, and if you only have to look at Mark Butcher Homeless Campaigners page to see exactly what's actually going on here in Blackpool.
You were telling me about kids from very normal and inverted commas backgrounds. They weren't going to get any Christmas presents this year. But you sorted that, didn't you?
We did. Well, during the lockdown, I had a service which we started up called Click 2 Shop It Local. Okay. And that was a delivery service. It's no longer with us because the service is no longer needed.
So that was a lockdown.
It was in lockdown. And how I met Mark was we had a load of Christmas presents donated to us to give to people. And we thought, well, what the best way to do it? So we approached Mark. We wrapped all the presents up, and believe it or not, there was cars queuing up. It was during the lockdown from the Amazing Grace soup kitchens right up, which is a good 2 miles towards the pleasure beach, and every car volunteered to come and pick up some food, a food parcel, Christmas hamper, and they delivered it. Now that for me was the start. I wanted on board with that.
Yeah.
And so I approached Mark and said, I really want to get involved with Amazing Grace and what you do. Can I please help out? We've become best of buddies since.
So you do 2 nights a week where you feed people, not, as I said before, not just homeless people, but the working
Anybody
poor.
that needs it. Especially in this time, you know, don't decide.
Tell me about it. Tell me about what's happening now. Tell me about people that are literally heating and then not eating, or eating and not eating.
You know, we can see it. Everybody knows what's going on, but the reason is nobody wants to talk about the problem. Yeah. The problem is the current government, we're all afraid to say it, but it's true. The current government need to change what's happening. Yeah. You know, they're spending this much amount on Blackpool, I think £500 million on Blackpool, and we've got a homeless problem.
Yeah.
They're spending £4 million on South Shore. We've got a homeless problem. Yeah. People need help. It's all right putting the fascias back on Blackpool. Let's have a look at the veins of Blackpool. Let's look deeper into Blackpool and have a look at these people that constantly queue up at Amazing Grace every other night wanting some food.
And it's escalating. The energy prices must be making a huge difference. I've heard stories of people turning their fridges off to save electric. And sadly, about a girl a week or so ago that went and worked as a street prostitute that night to put some money on the electric meter.
Well, I don't know that story. I've not heard that story. But if that's true...
I heard that Amazing Grace.
That's tragic. It's tragic that that's even happening in this day and age. Don't forget, we're living in a digital era, okay, where everything's touch control, but yet we can't get control. We can't touch the people that we really need to touch. No, and that's the people that are living and breathing. They have a soul, they have a heart, they have a place in this community, and they're lost. Yeah. So we need to just guide them in the right direction, is why we brought the night bus into action.
Yeah, because the night bus is amazing.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's took £104,000 from people's donations, from local businesses, to help a charity build this fantastic machine.
No government money.
No government backing. No. The council didn't back us, although, you know, the council are starting to work with us in certain benefits now.
Well, that's good of them.
Well, yeah, well...
And eventually, once you've done all the hard work...
Well, Blackpool Transport Limited have come up with the ticket for the people that they can pick them up and bring them to Amazing Grace to get food. So I think that's good. You know, I think we work together. We don't cause should we say, annoyances on Facebook and little tittle-tattle. We need to work together as a community in Blackpool. This is why I work on Foul Coast Radio, to get people interested in the breakfast show. We can talk about the businesses, get the businesses to help the communities. It keeps the businesses open, people shopping in local shops instead of the
Governments
big
don't make money,
No.
businesses make money.
Make
do,
money.
do you feel that the government's obsession with like woke stuff like net zero is just a
Nobody
complete...
understands it.
Nobody understands it. And all,
Net zero.
what is
Nobody
it? Well, it's
understands it.
about making energy prices really, really high.
Yeah,
but yeah, that basically.
Go and tell that to somebody who's a one-bedroom flat living with a daughter because her husband's alcoholic and left home. Whatever reasons they've got, go and explain net zero to them. Go and sit in their living room and watch the meter spinning like a spinning top where they're putting more money in it. Go and speak to those people and say to those people, look, what is net zero? What are they going to say to you?
They're going to say, it's not relevant to me,
Not relevant.
apart from the policies that have been implemented in its name.
Well, people don't need to know about that side of it. They need to know that they can feel comfortable living in a wealthy country, saying that with £3 trillion in debt. So wealthy doesn't really spring to mind, does it? You know, 3 trillion. We never used to say the word trillion. We're saying it a lot recently.
We do say it a lot
You
recently.
know, I watched GB News the other day and somebody mentioned it on there as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's just like we shouldn't be dragging the people who are uneducated and trying to ruin their minds with things that they don't know about. They just want to feed the kids and sleep.
Well, I mean, obviously we didn't allow... fracking is not being allowed by the government at the moment. Do you feel that Quadrilla, if they did a community reach out programme and help people with their energy bills...
It's not about that. It's not about that. They've tried it before in Blackpool. Now, I haven't got... For me, if it's going to save people money...
I was with the CEO yesterday and the amount of, you know...
Let's get him on the show on Foul Coast Radio. Have a word with him. Come and have a chat with us on Foul Coast Radio.
I will. I'll
Get him
talk
and
to
have a
him.
chat.
I'll talk to him because he said it's a seasonal town. It would provide jobs all year round. Energy prices would come down for local people.
Do you know what people are wary of? What effects that's going to have on the town? You know, I understand these people who go out, please don't frack our town, don't frack our town.
Yeah.
Maybe a lot of them are uneducated on why he's fracking.
There's been a lot of misinformation because...
Exactly. Get them to put a proper documentation together on why they should do this.
Okay.
Then put it to the people and say to the people, right, you've got your choice. Tick that mark there. And then give the people a choice.
Yeah.
Post it back to him, and then he'll see whether or
Yeah.
not he should
All right.
come back.
Okay. Well, then I will talk to Francis Egan and I will get him to talk to you. Okay.
Definitely, Lois.
Because if you can get the people on board, I was talking to Scott Benton, the MP, earlier on today.
Yeah.
He said he's in support of fracking personally, but he has to represent the interests of his
I spoke
constituents.
to Scott a couple of weeks ago. We had him on the show. He's been on 2 or 3 times. We
Yeah.
talk about the benefits of South Shore. Now, the benefits of South Shore being South Shore is one of the most deprived. Bond Street, for instance, is one of the most deprived areas that the council should put their eyes on. Now, Scott said 4 million or 40 million. I can't remember the exact figure.
Yeah.
But he said this figure's going into South Shore.
Yeah.
The football fields are getting turned into this mass sports complex.
Yeah.
How, again, Scott, how is that helping the situation we are currently in? It's putting another fascia on Blackpool. Come to Blackpool, spend your money, because we'll keep your money and we'll not help the people that need it.
No, it's
So,
yeah.
Scott, going back to your question about Scott, I have got absolutely no angst with Scott. Scott comes onto the show, we have a chat, we're amicable.
I liked him very much.
He's got a good way with the people.
Yeah.
He takes a lot of pictures.
What are you saying?
I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
But,
How diplomatic of
I
you.
know, but there's quite a few parties out there at the moment, aren't there, that are trying to get independent. For one, Mark Butcher, he's going as an independent party for the Waterloo ward in Blackpool.
Yeah.
Whether Scott will get back in or not, I've had a lot of bad news about Scott recently.
Okay.
And I think you guys asked him as well. He's put his house up for sale. So
Yeah, but he confirmed to me that he will be standing at the next
he should
election.
confirm it to his people, the people in his constituents. I'm in his constituent as well, so he should explain that to the people.
Okay.
I don't want to dwell too much on Scott Benson. It's not about him.
No.
But going back to the fracking, Lois,
Yeah.
the fracking is massive in Blackpool. Give the people a reason, help the people out.
Yeah.
You know, gold.
And then we've got
pay
public
people.
support, and then you know, Bob's your uncle.
Public support, council support, local business support. This is what you need. You don't just need the people saying, let's tick this box and say yes.
Yeah, you need everybody on
the
board.
businesses. That Paul Rowley, who supported us with the night bus, That guy's give us £51,000 towards the night bus.
That's
51
amazing.
grand off a local
Good for
business.
him.
If every other business was to do that to help projects in Blackpool,
Yeah.
maybe we'd move forward.
No, absolutely
Do you
right.
get what I mean, Lois?
Oh, okay. No, I absolutely get what you
Yeah.
mean. Well, thank you
Freezing
so.
cold.
It is freezing cold. Thank you so
No
much
problem
for
at all.
talking to me.
Thank you very much. You take
Okay.
care.
So I'm here talking to Lee, and Lee not only volunteers at Amazing Grace, the community kitchen that provides food for people that need support and homeless, but also you use the service even though you work full time as a taxi driver.
That's right, yes.
Yeah. Tell me about that. What's going on?
It's just hard work with the way things are, with the gas, electric especially,
Yeah.
trying to heat the home at home for the family and,
It must be a nightmare.
trying to do your shopping
Yeah.
and trying to go to work. It's, pay your rent. It's all hard work.
It is hard work. So have you noticed with the energy bills? Was that the tipping point for you, the energy
The
bill?
energy bills, yeah. I mean, where I used to putting on £20 a week on gas, I'm now putting on £60 a week.
It's unsustainable, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hard work.
It
It's
is
really hard work.
So the whole net zero obsession of the government, you must think, do one.
Well, yeah, something to that kind
Something
of words,
like
yeah.
that. What do you think about the recent comments from Lee Anderson MP, who said that people that work full time, that use food banks or go to the community kitchens for food, they need to learn to budget better? What would you say to Lee? I'm seeing him actually
Spend
tomorrow.
a week in my shoes.
Right. Okay.
See how he says about it then.
Yeah, okay. I'm just thinking, it's disgusting in this day and age that someone that's working full time needs support like that from a charity.
Just the way things are, to the comment trying to budget is hard.
Yeah.
We have to
Especially with the energy prices going up and up and up.
going up and up and up by it's just hard work to try and do everything with what we earn.
Yeah. So the whole concept of choosing between heating or eating is not just a phrase for you.
Well,
You
no,
actually
it's
have
not.
made
I've
that
actually
choice.
done it, yeah. I've actually put my heating on and used the services at Amazing Grace myself, even though I'm a volunteer and I'm actually a board member there as well. And I've had to use the services myself.
Oh, that's extraordinary. Okay. So what's your message to Rishi then, for Rishi Sunak?
I'll say take another think about the budgeting because it's impossible.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
And net zero, load of nonsense.
Say again?
It's net zero. Does it mean anything to you at all? No. Just means you're cold. Yeah. Okay. Oh, thank you so much for talking to me. That was wonderful. Thank you. So I'm asking everyone 5 quick fire questions.
Okey-dokey.
Okay. So climate catastrophe or no climate
What you're asking
catastrophe?
me is the one.
Yeah.
Yes, there is climate catastrophe.
Okay. Fracking or no fracking? if
It's hard for me, this one, because I've
Yeah.
got to be impartial. I'm like you on this. Are you fracking or no
I'm
fracking?
pro fracking.
I'm going to say yes on this occasion.
Okay.
Because of the positive vibe that's coming from everything around Blackpool at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm
Okay.
going to say fracking on this
Okay.
occasion.
So fracking or wind farms? Bird killing wind farms.
No, I don't agree with wind farms.
No, they're ugly, aren't
no,
they?
yeah, they are ugly. They ruin the landscape, and
Heavily subsidised.
you only have to look across here to see how much they've ruined the landscape as well.
And there's so many things wrong
So
with wind
fracking,
farms.
if we can find gas underground that's going to help us, bring it up. Let's have it.
Bring
Yeah.
it up. Let's
Bring
have it. Nice juicy steak or a salad?
Salad on the steak.
You are a diplomat, aren't you?
very hard to
Okay,
say,
all right. Okay, heat or eat?
Eat.
Eat.
Yeah.
And then that warms you through,
Yeah,
doesn't
of course
it?
it does.
Yeah, but we need
Goes
both
on the spot while
really,
you're eating.
don't we? Thanks so much.
welcome.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.